and welcome to Maths Made Clear with me, Miss Snowden.
And me, Mr. Burrows.
Today we're going to take you through some simple subtraction strategies that you could use at home with your children.
Let's go. Okay, so subtraction is the process of taking a number or amount away from another bigger amount. Subtraction is the big word. I mean, you call it taking away or those sorts of words. What I'd like to do, what we both like to do, is we'd like to talk you through some of the ways in which we teach subtraction throughout the school. So some of the different models that we use.
So we're going to start off by looking at counters. We use counters throughout the school to show the process of taking away from a larger amount. So if we were to start off with the subtraction sentence 14 take away 6, we would need to get out 14 counters. So we'll put them on the table, and then we are going to take away 6 of them. So we can physically remove the 6 counters from our pile of 14. After removing those 6 counters, we are then able to count up how many counters we've got left to find our answer. It's always good to group the numbers and partition them. So if we found it easier to partition our number into tens and ones, we could partition our number into tens and ones. So let's show our 14 as a group of 10 and another group of 4. So here's 14. We've got one group of 10 and one group of 4. Then we want to take away 6 ultimately, but we're going to start off by taking away the 4. So we're going to take away the 4. Then from the 10, we're going to take away another 2. This leaves us with 8. When you're doing subtraction at home, you could use anything to count, anything as counters. So we could use raisins, we could use cars, we could use teddy bears, anything that you've got lots of, you can use as counters at home. You don't have to use counters per se.
Absolutely. It's really important to know that, it can be one of those things that I think can put a lot of people off. Or we don't have the equipment that you have at school. Just use what you have. So we're not looking for, everyone to buy counters or have counters. Just use whatever you've got in order to do this kind of thing. Teddy's is a really great idea. As the children get a little bit older and we get away from using practical things that we can manipulate, we can push around, we might use different models that we can draw. So 2 different models that we're going to look at. The first one is the part-whole model, which looks like this. It's sort of cherries or bubbles with connections. We're going to look at that same number sentence, 14 take away 6 equals 8. So we don't know the answer yet, so we don't have the 8. What we do have is the whole, the big amount, 14, the total, and we know what the number that we're taking away, which is one of the parts, would be 6. So then actually we can use this model to say 14, take away 6. We could use our fingers or we can count down as we go to get ourselves to 8. So 8 then we could fill in the part-whole model to show that 8 is the other part. So then we could look at it as an addition sentence as well. 8 plus 6 equals 14. The other way that we could look at it is we could have a look at a bar model. And that's very similar. We could show this bar model as the big bar at the top, which is the whole, which is 14. And then underneath it, we've got 2 smaller bars that are exactly the same width when they're connected up. One of them is 6, because we know that we're doing 14 take away 6. So our job is to try and work out, well, what's the other part? Well, what happens is that you do the whole, the total amount, 14, take away one of the parts, 6, is going to give you the other part, which is 8.
Fantastic. So now we're going to have a look at number lines. We love number lines, and number lines are great for subtraction. So 14 take away 6. We're going to start off by finding our biggest number, which is 14. Because we're subtracting, we're going backwards on our number line. So we're going to go to the left. We're going to count back 6 places on the line. So in 14, we go back 6. So I'm going to count back 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I arrive at 8.
So then let's jump forward towards the latter end of the school, year 5, year 6. These are all great methods, but actually, if we're doing 294,382 take away 182,501, well then these models don't quite work. And I do have a lot of teddies at home, but I don't have that many. So what we need to do is we need a written method, what we call a formal method, or column subtraction. So we would set it out like this in very clear columns. So we have the ones columns lined up, so the ones, and then the tens, and then the hundreds, and then the thousands, and then the 10,000s, and then the 100,000s. We could also potentially use counters for each place value counters. Now, place value is perhaps something that you've heard your children say. All that means is which part is which in a number. So the ones and the tens and the hundreds. So each number works in exactly the same way, in the same order. And so place value is understanding that. So when we're using column subtraction, the formal method to do subtraction, we take each column in turn, starting with the smallest column. So in this case, it would be the ones. And if we have a look at this column subtraction, well, we've got 2 ones here, and then we're going to take away 1 1. So 2 take away 1 is 1. Easy peasy. We move over to the tens, the next largest place value column. 8 tens, take away no tens. Well, that's going to be 8. Again, easy peasy. But then we get to the hundreds. Well, we've got 3 hundreds here, and we're looking to take away 5 hundreds. We can't do it. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to make an exchange. Now, again, you might have heard your children say this, exchange. It's not what I called it when I was at school. What we called it was borrowing. So if you know it as borrowing and you hear exchange, that's exactly the same thing. So don't worry about that. So what we need to do is we're going to need to borrow or exchange 1,000. Because remember, our number system works with the fact that we've got 10 fingers. So 10 ones make 10, 10 tens make 100, 10 hundreds make 1,000. So if we take 1,000 from the thousands column, that's the same as 10 hundreds. So then you take that 1,000 and then you add 10 to the hundreds column. So now, instead of 3 take away 5 or 300s take away 500s, it's actually 1,300s take away 500s, which we can do now, which would give us 8. Then we move back to the thousands. Well, we don't have 4,000s anymore. Remember, we borrowed one. So now we've got 3,000s. But it's 3,000s take away 2,000s, and that's fine. Then we go to the next column. 9 take away 8 is fine. And then the final column, 2 take away 1 is also fine. So, as we can see, 294,382 take away 182,501 equals 111,881. Goodness, that was difficult to say. But it seems like a massive number, but actually just using that method makes things much easier.
Amazing. Thank you, Mr. Burrows. We really hope this has been helpful for you. If you're unsure about any of these methods, please make sure you ask your child's class teacher, because we'd be more than happy to help. Don't forget, we've got other videos about other topics, so go and find them and have a look.